I can't remember the last time I've seen a visual like that.
Don't get me wrong, I love it. It's in my top 2. I just personally prefer this one.
Right, so then I can't agree with that, so it's going to be an agree to disagree. So here we are, Premier League top 6. If you've seen the first video up here, you'll have seen us go through basically the other 14 teams in the Premier League. Now we're going to look at the top 6, or the Sky top 6, whatever you want to call them. We're going to work out whether they are worthy of actually being in the top 6 with regards to kit design. So, you ready, Rob?
I am ready.
Right, so Liverpool's.
Does that deserve to
Absolutely
be on a top 6
not.
team? No.
Absolutely not. Look, I've said it all the way through. Not a fan of the template. This is basically a plain red Liverpool shirt with a little bit of detail on the shoulders and the cuffs there. Not a big fan of this at all. I think the only saving grace is I really quite like that detail there. But even then, there's nothing in there. When we saw the French kit at the World Cup, there was beautiful little details in. Yeah. That for me hasn't even hit the post. That for me's gone into row 17 in the cop end.
Wow.
So no, rubbish.
So that's one Nike shirt dropping out of the top 6.
Your side, what we saying? Oh,
so we've got another Nike shirt. So the 2 Nike shirts. Sorry, there are 3. Yeah. We've got Chelsea as well. So our second Nike shirt, is it going to survive or go in the dustbin?
No chance. No chance. I'm sorry, Spurs fans, but that's an absolute shocker.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked before about how you can flip the cuff up.
Yeah, you keep talking about that, but it still doesn't do it.
I know, it's like a football shirt equivalent of Global Hypercolour or something. How you can flip the collar upside down
Not
and then you get Spurs the wrong way up like a necklace.
Not a fan at all.
Rubbish,
not
isn't
a fan
it?
at all.
Yeah, absolutely not cinched it.
No, definitely not. So next one for me is Arsenal's home kit by Adidas. This I absolutely do love.
Yep.
I think as a replica kit, I think, to be fair, Adidas have absolutely rocked it for you, Gooners. You should be so pleased with the kits that you've had over the last few seasons. They've been absolutely superb. Last season's were brilliant. This season's really good again. Love the neckline detail on it. That for me is definitely in my top 6.
Perfect. So, another Adidas shirt, Manchester United, another red Adidas shirt.
Yeah.
Can we get the Arsenal one back and compare and contrast the 2? Because I think it's probably worth it in seeing how different they are and whether we'll get any salty comments from envious
I
United
think we'll definitely get some salty comments for
Arsenal
sure.
supporters. It's basically the same shirt, isn't it?
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
The fabric is a little bit different where they've done this drop needle effect.
To give the stripe in it.
That's going to click like crazy, but then maybe so might that. I'm not a big fan of the logo that they've done there where they've blacked it out, and I'm certainly not a big fan.
I wonder why they've done that
shield.
as opposed to that.
Don't know. Maybe it's probably because they're bringing in some of the black around the shield and around the neckline and stuff.
Which is very Reebok late 90s-esque.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind that so much. If that's going to go in the top 6,
this has to.
That has to as well. So we'll pitch them against the others. So let's put them in. So, but anyway, Adidas, great job, man. Great job.
Will Nike have a survivor, or are they going out of the top 6?
You know, it's a close call, but for me, no. And I'll tell you why. I can see what they've done with the neckline. The neckline looks quite canny. You know, I can see why they've matched the colours within the swoosh to the neckline. I quite like that neckline, but it doesn't blow me away.
Yeah.
And that's what I think the brand should be doing when it comes to the top 6 teams, or the supposed top 6. For me, their kit should just be absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
And just the fact that they've got the gold around the Chelsea and then that doesn't match, and I'm just, for me it underwhelms us. So what I know I've seen in the lower teams that were reviewed already, it doesn't make it for me, Rob.
Wow.
I'm really sorry, and I'm sorry, Nike. I love you to bits. Love all the guys that work there, but it just doesn't make it. I'm sorry.
No bias on here, unlike Sky's commentary teams on occasion. The last of the big 6 top 6 tops.
What I would comment on this,
go on then.
As a replica shirt, I think it's okay. Visually, it looks okay. I've said on field, it looks okay.
Yep.
What they have done with the pro kit that the players wear, which we've waxed lyrical about. We saw that on field for Man City. That is a great kit. Translated into replica, I think it's okay. I would probably, this might be a bit controversial because if you've seen some of our other videos, I've absolutely destroyed this. But I would probably keep it in as a kind of sitting on the fence one. But if you don't, you don't.
I don't know. Well, I think
if he's not having it, kids.
If you watch the other video of the other 14, which again, click the link just up here, we talked about replica and the amount of details and the value for money.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about the authentic shirts.
So are we arguing here? You're not having that?
No, because there just isn't enough on it. It's like the authentic shirt is Manchester City as they are today.
Yeah.
And the replica is Manchester City if they hadn't spent 15 years inflating their accounts, allegedly.
Yeah, okay.
That's the difference between the two shirts for me, is that's just... If we didn't know about the authentic shirt, if we were judging this as an item on its own, you'd say, well, it's a ringer tee that's got a little insert detail on the back.
Well, here's another way of looking at it. Would that beat Fulham's kit?
No.
Right, so, okay, take it off. And then what we'll do now then, so out of all of the top 6 teams, we're basically left with 2. So what I would now suggest is from the other 6 that we've got from the lower teams, what's beaten this United kit?
Is that better than either of those two? Is Nottingham Forest by Macron better than either of those two?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Is Everton with the Prince Rupert multiplier embossed on the front?
Possibly. Keep it to one side. Absolutely not.
Sorry, guys.
Absolutely not.
Sorry, Mom.
Definitely.
Crystal Palace is through. We've only got 5 shirts now.
We've got 5 shirts. Well, that's the state of play, right? So we were meant to have a top 6. We've ended up with a top 5, which is probably a reflection on some of the kits that we've seen in the Premier League this season. You know, that some of them have been great.
Pretty ordinary.
Some of them have just hit the post. Some of them have gone, as I said, into row 7 or whatever. For me, I would say out of these 5 we've got,
silence.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one because I think Fulham's is brilliant. I think Crystal Palace's is brilliant. So if I had to pick my top 3...
Well, let's put them in order. Champions League places and who's just missed out.
Wow. Okay.
It's a tricky one. I've never
Wow,
seen
it
such
really
silence,
is. It
tension
really
in the
is.
studio.
I would probably
It's palpable.
use...
I bet you can feel it.
I'd lose Man United. I'd lose Man United.
So Man United drop into 5th place.
Yeah.
So that's going to go here.
Then...
Who's in 4th place?
Oh, definitely Everton.
Everton.
As much as it's a nice kit.
So Everton make it into the Champions League. It's not something you'll be hearing very often in the next couple of years, I don't
And
imagine.
if I'm judging this from our world, our
Yep.
design perspective, value for money, all of that sort of stuff, right? Visuals, all of that, I would then go Arsenal personally.
Okay.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Feel free to disagree.
No, I would. I just, and I don't know why, because it's so similar to the Man United shirt.
Yeah.
I just do like it more.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, whether it's just that feels like a nicer detail that relates back to the previous Arsenal kit, whereas, you know, it's the same detail, it's a different graphic, but I do just prefer that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's less busy, I guess, than this one.
So for me, the next one has got to be Fulham. Personally, I think that is a replica kit, value for money. I think Adidas have knocked it out of the park as a replica kit.
I would have that ahead of Crystal Palace myself.
Oh, really?
I love the rib detail.
Right,
I think it's really nice.
But, oh man, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't agree with that. Although I don't know, I mean, again, if I'm thinking from a pure value for money perspective, there's definitely more value in that than there is in the Macron one. And we know that for a fact, right? So, I just think that visually looks absolutely awesome.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It's in my top 2. I just personally prefer this one.
Right, so then I can't agree with that, so it's going to be an agree to disagree. No, just do agree to disagree. I think, as far as I'm concerned, that would be the layout. I think Fulham's kit is superb. I think, as a Fulham fan, as I said, that is cracking. But it's got to go to Crystal Palace for me. I just love the visual of it.
Notice we agree to disagree and Craig's ends up first.
No. Well, what I'm going to do, so, hey, everybody's fair and love and war. So, basically, I would do it that way, right? But what you're saying is you would say
That way.
Crystal Palace and Fulham wins it. Right? So we've definitely divided.
Let's put it to the public.
Yeah. Well, if
Leave
you do
us
agree,
a comment.
Yeah. If you do agree with me, then it's Crystal
Then
Palace.
don't leave a comment. Keep
is the
it
best
to yourself.
kit in the Premier League. If you agree with Rob,
If you're correct.
and you believe it's Fulham, then leave a comment. If you think we've been talking absolute garbage and bullshit, then by all means tell us. But for us, that's what we thought. Some great kits, a lot of underwhelming kits. If I was a Leeds fan, I'd be absolutely crying into my pillow.
Again.
Especially if I was a Spurs fan as well, to be fair. But yeah, overall, I think when we've come off the back of a World Cup, I think some of the World Cups we were absolutely like, wow, they are awesome. And then we've come into obviously the Premier League, and some of them are great, some of them aren't great. But yeah, we've agreed to disagree for the first time probably ever, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
normally we would be slugging this out for hours and you guys would have tuned out long before we settled it.
Yeah, so one other thing we could do though, marks out of 11 for them. Just quickly, marks out of 11. Fulham.
9,
Marks out of 11.
8,
Marks out of 11.
7.5,
Marks out of 11. Everton.
7,
Marks out of 11.
7. Everton are through on goal difference.
Right, okay. Yeah, okay. So there you have it, kids.
So that was it. That concludes our 2-part kit breakdown in
It
its
does.
purest sense, where we have taken the other 14 and chosen 6 top kits from that and ended up with 5. So we would love to know if you agree, disagree, what you think we've missed out on out of these. We are only comparing home replica jerseys. So in the comments, keep that in mind. We would love to know what you think. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of this amazing community. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also click the link on our Patreon channel and you will be able to have a look at what's going on behind the scenes when we shoot and get exclusive early content. Until we see you again, take care of yourself and we'll look forward to next time.
Back once again with the Renegade Master. Here we are. I'll start that again. Back once again with the Renegade Master.